Hey guys, good morning all of you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah,
Hi,
hi, good morning, La.
hi, good morning, buddy. Hey guys, so this is my switch over there, and we have some host, right? So this is the host that belongs to the some locations. To take example, this guy is belong to the Delhi, right? Okay. At the same time, we have some another guys that are posing the Bangalore location, right? Okay, so also we have a switch over there. So why do we need a switch over there? Because we need to provide the LAN connectivity. Okay, so maybe you have a question about we can also use the hub over there, right? And you can also use the bridge over there, right? Instead of the using the switch, we can have an option of this 2%, right? What's the reason why we are not going to use the hub in the market nowadays? Anyone?
Non-intelligent device will not understand the MAC or IP.
It's not going to understand the MAC and IP, right? Okay, anything else? Only the broadcast, right? So what happened is the issue with the hub. So I'm not going to much detail right now. In the switching part, I'll go in the detail of the bridge and hub, right? So what actually hub is doing? This guy said, hey, I'm totally a dumb device. Dumb means what? If the packet is unicast, if the packet is broadcast, or if the packet is multicast, I'm not able to understand, right? And if the person is not able to understand anything, what they will do? Confuse. And they say, hey, let's do the broadcast. Hub is basically it's a layer one device, right? They are not able to identify the packets of the unicast. They are not able to identify the packet of the broadcast, and even they cannot identify the multicast. So what they will do? Broadcast. Actually, you know the reason behind it, they are actually not doing the broadcasting. They actually not understand the packets. So if they will not understand, I will flood the packet to the every interfaces. Okay. So why we are not going to use the bridge in the market? Bridge is a layer two, right? They have ability, but what's the reason? Sorry, LinkedIn port.
Limited ports.
Yeah, they have a limited number of ports, so we can increase the limited number of ports. That's not a big deal, I think so. Anything else? Actually, see the limited number of ports we can increase it. That's not a big deal. But do you know what's the issue with the bridge? They actually have a very limited number of college domain. Max to max, they have a two college domain. So they just provide the two LAN connectivity over there. More than one, it's not possible. That's why they removed the concept of the bridge and they came with the mechanism switch over there, right? And what switch will do? All this device, the common thing, hub, bridge, and switch, they all provide the connectivity to the end user, or we can say that end devices. The end devices could be anything. It can be a user, it can be a server, it can be a printer, or it can be a telephone as well as. The telephone, I'm not talking about the normal telephone, it's an IP phone I'm talking about, right? So the switch has the ability to provide the connectivity between to the end hostess, right? It could be anything. So the reason it is using the switch is very simple because it's a layer 2 device. They have an ability to identify the unicast packet. They have an ability to identify the broadcast packet, and they have an ability to identify the multicast packet. Clear? That's the reason why we are using the bridge switch over there. Even in the switch, right, we have a two types. One, we have a manageable switch. I'm again repeating, I'm not going into detail, right? I'm just giving the teeny piece of information. Sorry, not tiny piece of information, unmanageable. Manageable means what? You can manage, you have a CLI, right? You can do the spanning tree configuration, you can do the VLAN, you can do private VLAN as well as you can do lots of things. Manage means what? You can manage it. A network engineer can take a CLI access of this person and they can manage it. What is the meaning of unmanageable? We cannot manage. They just provide the connectivity and they can understand unicast, broadcast, multicast. They just provide the connectivity. That's it, nothing else. You have a limited access based on the GUI, right? Graphical user interface. Based on the GUI, you can take access. That's it. You can monitor in the depend on the the version of the switches, right? If you go for the higher end of the unmanageable switch, you can see that okay, some features are there. You can monitor the traffic. That's it. But if I'm going to talk about like, configuration part, you can't do any configuration. These are pre-configured switches over there. So in the market, we are going to use the manageable switches as well as, or unmanageable switches as well as. It's not like that we are not using the unmanaged, we are using, because it cutting the cost over there. Anyone has an idea we are using the unmanageable switch? Anyone? Have you seen that in the production? You? The landlord also using the manageable as well as. Guys, don't worry if you don't have an idea of the unmanageable and manageable. I'm again repeating, I'm just giving the tiny piece of information. We'll see that in the switching part. These are totally part of the switching, right? Okay. So we have a switch over there, and this is the switch 2, right? All good. So we can define the MAC of this guy, right? So MAC will be what? A, and IP will be what? Right? The MAC will be B, and IP will be what? Same thing. The MAC will be C, IP will be what? And the MAC will be D, IP will be what? Right? PC1, that's belong to Delhi. PC number 2, that's belong to Delhi. PC number 3, that's belong to the Bangalore. And PC number 4, that's belong to the Bangalore. Right? Now, tell me one thing. Can I communicate with this person right now? This guy to this guy. And can I communicate between this guy to this guy? No, right? Tell me one thing. If I'm going to communicate with the PC1 to the PC2, if I say the ping, first of all, what is ping? What is ping? My first question. First question, what is ping? Check the connectivity. Anything else? Visibility. What is the first ping full from? Packet, internet broker, right? And it used to check the connectivity. That according to you, right? और कुछ? Anything else? अबे तपन आया क्या बिहार से? वो लटक गया बिहार में? आया नहीं है? वो लॉकडाउन लग गया बिहार में? हाँ, फंस गया वो बिहार में. Anything else about the ping? How they will check the connectivity? Tell me. How they will check the connectivity? By exchanging the ICMP packet. Okay, tell me one thing. Ping is service. Exactly, ping is service. The command, the first one used by the ICMP, used to check the reachability of the remote host. Perfect answer. Now, okay, I understand. What is IP? Full form नहीं पूछा है मैं. To identify the device and network, right? At the same time, only that identify the device or anything else. Location, right? It's a layer 3 protocol, right? Right. So if you have a IP, then why we have introduced the ICMP protocol? Question. तुमने बोला, you said that ping is a command that works on the layer 3 and used IP protocol. to check the connectivity. Sorry, that use the ICMP protocol to check the connectivity. So if you already have an IP, right? I already have IP, right? So what's the reason to bring the ICMP? Sorry, yes, you go on. Exactly, right. Do you know what happened with the IP? IP is a protocol, okay, is not going to provide the any error detection and correct, like any error detection right over there. And it's a connectionless protocol. It is not going to detect, okay, is there any error or not? It is not going to find, okay, do we have reachability between this guy and this guy? No, no, they don't have, because it's totally connectionless protocol. Even ICMP is a connectionless protocol, right? It's not going to make any connection oriented over there like TCP is doing. But the thing about the ICMP has a error detection. Okay, is there any error? Drop the packet. It's an error control. Like if there any error is happening, right? Is any devices side, if you don't have connectivity between the devices, just drop it and inform this guy. Okay, something has issue by sending them some message. Like an IP unreachable, host unreachable, right? Protocol unreachable, port number unreachable, destination unreachable. ICMP TAM exceed, right? If the TTL goes, if the TTL goes down, right? So the reason is to introduce the ICMP protocol. If you already have IP, to reason they introduce the ICMP to just inform the host or router, hey, something has bug, something has issues. Clear? Now, so if I'm going to ping from PC number 1 or 2, what happened? First, which MAC address? Where it will check the MAC address? Do you know what happened when I said the ping 1 or 2, right? From the PC number 1, from this guy to this guy, right? I said the ping 1 or 2 from the PC number 1. What happened? The PC one is saying, hey, do we have a MAC information on this guy? Because it will create a packet like this. And in this packet, the source MAC address will be what? A, because I know my MAC address. Destination MAC address is 0. I don't know. Source IP is what? 101. And destination IP is what? 102. Right? What happened? Immediately, this packet will be dropped. Why? Encapsulation failed. It is something like that. This guy is belong to the Delhi, Pashchim Bihar, right? This guy is a Bangalore HSR layout, right? What happened? He has some courier. So what happened? They have phone. They purchase the one phone, and A wants to give this phone to the B, right? So what happened? They will put this phone into this box. This is known as encapsulation, right? Putting the something in the box, that is known as encapsulation. And what happened? Here he is going to put the source IP information is Delhi, right? Destination he will put the Bangalore. And in the source, what happened? They'll put the Pashchim Bihar. Someone mic is on nice, please. What will the destination over there? What happened if they will send this information to the courier guy, right? What courier guy will do over there? They will just drop it, because you are not putting the complete information over there. Did I put the HSR layer? No. So this guy will confuse, where should I forward this packet, right? They will just drop it. What is happening? Encapsulation error. So this Delhi is like your IP, and Pashchim Bihar is like what? MAC address. Bangalore is IP, HSR layout is what? MAC address. Like a Marathali, Kormangala, BTM layout. What is this? Guys are the MAC address, right? The location of the particular. So if you're not going to fulfill the information, the packet will drop just because of what? Encapsulation field. And same thing happening on the devices as well as. Now tell me where this packet will drop. On this side, on the switch side, on this guy, or on this guy, or on this guy. F0/0. Switch side. PC1. Exactly right. Here I'm itself dropping the packet. Clear? See? Done. IP. Submit mask. Submit mask. Done. Here to here. What happened? Dropped the patient. Why? Just because of the encapsulation field. Let's see this error. एक minute, भाई. Right? R1 R2. तुम इतना लेट क्यों आते हो? Why so late? सर सर नहीं, तू कल भी लेट था. कहाँ से आ रहे हो? Where are you coming from? पास में बीटीएम. मैं भी बीटीएम से आता हूँ. इतना दूर भी नहीं है. Configure interface user. Guys, don't worry about this command, right? I will explain this later on. /8 nodes are done. I'm just trying to show you the encapsulation error, right? That's it. Nodes are done and all good. So this guy has IP address is 101, right? This guy has a IP address is 102, and I'll just write on the MAC address as well as do show interface 0/0 include BIA. Don't worry about the command line right now. My goal is just trying to show you the error right now. That's it. All done. All good. So now go on R1 to the command debug IP packet detail ping. Source is this guy. Destination is this guy. Right from R1 I'm pinging, right? From R1 I ping. Source is this guy, destination is this guy. I'm sending the packet from which interface 0/0. Length is 100 bytes. What happened? Clear. So my first packet has dropped just because of the encapsulation field. Clear? Why? Because we are not filling the complete address. Clear? Good. So to avoid this problem, what happened right now? The PC1, right? The PC1 does not have a MAC information of the PC number 2, right? The PC1 does not have a MAC information of the PC number 2. Clear? So to avoid this problem, what we have introduced? We have introduced the one protocol. That protocol name is ARP. And what this guy is saying that? He's saying that, hey, if you don't have a destination MAC address, I'll help you to bring it, right? So what happened? Once this packet ICMP request packet will drop, right? The type will be 8. What happened? Immediately the PC number 1 will create the ARP request packet, right? And in this ARP request, source MAC will be what? A, destination MAC, FFF, type field, right? That's going to represent the type field is 2-byte field. That is just going to represent that, hey, should I forward the packet to the layer 3 or not? So right now the type field is what? ARP. So it means that I need to create the ARP header. Source MAC 8, destination MAC, I don't know. Source IP 101 and destination IP 102. And here the type field will be what? That's going to represent that IPv4. Something like this. According to the type field, 0x0806 is going to represent the ARP. 0x0800 is going to represent the IPv4. 0x8100 is going to represent that, the 80.1q encapsulation protocol VLAN. And 0x8147 is going to represent MPLS unicast. 0x8148 is going to represent the MPLS multicast. And 0x86DD, right? It's 6DD, right? It's going to represent the IPv6. The size of this guy is 2 byte, and based on this person, right, based on the type field, this is known as ether type field. Why I'm calling this guy as a ether type field? Because it is present on the Ethernet header. It's present on the Ethernet header. The size of this guy is 2 byte, and based on this field, they are deciding that, hey, I need to forward the packet to the layer 3. If they have an IP, let's forward the packet to the layer 3. If they don't have IP, I'm not going to forward the packet to the layer 3. Clear? Layer 3 in the sense of what I'm talking about, the OSI model, right? So when the packet is coming to the data link layer is going to check this field, right? Hey, what is the type field is happening? X, let's forward the packet to the ARP. In this case, what will be the type field over there? 0x0800, right? IPv4. So I need to forward the packet to the whom? Network layer. Because this is not ARP packet, right? ICMP. Clear? Same thing, if the packet is coming from the 0x8100 in the Ethernet header, do I need to forward the packet to the layer 3? No, because it works on the layer 2 protocol, right? I'm not going to forward the packet to the layer 3. So depend on the type field, right? It's very, very important question for the interview round. Depend on the type field, the data link can decide, hey, should I forward the packet to the layer 3 or not? Same thing on the network layer, right? On the IP header, we have a protocol field. Based on the protocol field, the network layer is deciding, hey, should I forward the packet to the layer 4 or not? If the protocol field is a TCP and UDP, it means that I need to forward the packet to the layer 4. If the protocol field is ICMP, do I need to forward the packet to the layer 4? No, it's a layer 3 protocol. I'll show you this thing in the packet capture, don't worry about that. If you have a look over there, capture. It's a layer 3 packet, right? So if you see that Ethernet type field C201, this is MAC address of this guy. Can you see that R1? R1 C201. Sorry, this one source MAC address. Destination MAC is what? C202. And Ethernet type field is what? IPv4, right? So I need to forward the packet to whom? Layer 3. And on the layer 3, what happened? The protocol number is 1, the ICMP, and ICMP is a layer 3 protocol. So do we have any layer 4 information over there? No, just a layer 3. But if you see the ARP as well as, can you see that it's a type field is what? ARP. So I need to forward the packet to whom? ARP, not to the ICMP. If you have a look, I'll do one thing as well as telnet type field is what? IPv4. Need to forward the packet to the layer 3. Once the packet is coming to the layer 3 has a protocol number, right? The protocol is 6, right? And TCP works on the layer 4, right? So it's forward the packet to the layer 4. And on the layer 4, what information we have? Port number. Based on that, they will forward the packet to the layer 7. So layer 2 has a type, layer 3 has a protocol number, and layer 4 has a port number, and layer 7 has a services. Clear? Good. So guys, what happened in this case now? Till this point. This concept is clear, right? This concept is clear, right? How the type is happening and what is the ARP request over there. So, oh, right. When this packet is come to the switch, what switch will do over there? MAC learning. So on the 0/0, which MAC I'm going to learn? Source MAC address A, right? When I'm going to learn the MAC address, at the same time, what happened? I'm learning this MAC address as a dynamic way, right? I'm learning this MAC address as a dynamic way. In that case, what happened? Your CPU will be high, right? And your some memory consumption will happen because when I'm adding something in your MAC table, right? I'm going to utilize some amount of memory and CPU as well as, right? At the same time, I'm learning this MAC address as a dynamic. For the dynamic, we have some timer that is known as a MAC aging time, 300 seconds, right? We can call it the 5 minutes. Guys, am I again repeating? I'm just giving the tiny piece of information. We have a detailed discussion about the MAC address, almost 3 hours of the lecture in the switching match, right? Okay, so if you have an idea, that's good. If you don't know, wait for some time. Once the switch one will learn the MAC address, which MAC address, right? After that, what they will do? It look at the what's the destination is FFF. So it will broadcast this packet on which interface 0/1, right? Once the PC number 2 will receive this packet and he say, hey, this is the broadcast packet, and someone who is someone A is looking the MAC address of me. A is looking the MAC address of me. So what happened once they will receive this packet, right? First of all, this guy is saying, hey, let me learn the ARP entry. And every PC maintain the ARP table, right? And in the ARP table, what they will put, hey, 101 associate with the MAC address A. And now the PC number 2 will create the reply packet. And in the reply, what they will do over there? The reply packet like this, we have a source MAC address will be A, destination MAC will be, sorry, source MAC address will be B, destination MAC address will be A, type field ARP, source MAC will be B, destination MAC will be A, source IP, destination IP, right? and they'll forward this packet to the switch 1 0/1 interface, right? What switch will do? On this interface, they will learn the MAC address B. And once they will learn the MAC address B, what happens? CPU will be high and memory congestion will be happen. And this MAC address is valid for the 300 seconds. That is known as a MAC aging time. This is the default timer. We can increase as well as. Clip. Once they will learn the MAC address on 0/1 interface, after that what? Always switch, learn, source, MAC. Once the MAC learning process will happen, right? Now the switch will say that, hey, what's the distance of MAC? A. So now the switch is going to verify, hey, do we have this information A? Yes. And A is associated with the which interface? 0/0, right? And they will send this packet to which guy? Once the PC number 1 will receive this packet, what they will do? They will add this entry, okay, 101 or 2, associate the MAC address B. And which table is this? ARP table, right? Once this process has done, now it will create the ICMP request packet. And now in this ICMP request packet, what happened? Is the source MAC address A that I know, that's my MAC address. Source IP I know. Destination IP put the 1 or 2. Do we have a 1 or 2 information? Yes. Let's put the B. And they will send this packet to the home. Switch 1. Switch 1 will receive this packet on 0/0 interface. They already have a MAC A. They will just refresh this timer 300 seconds, right? They will just refresh this timer 300 seconds. And after that, what? They will look up, hey, what's the destination MAC? B. Do we have a B in my MAC table? Yes. Let's forward the packet to this interface 0/1. Once the PC number 2 will receive this packet, what they will do now? They will create a reply packet, and reply packet is something like this: B A source IP 1 or 2 and distance IP 101, and they will send this packet to the 0/1 interface, receive it. They will just refresh the timer, right? And after that, looking for the A is associated with the 0/0 interface, and they will send the packet to the PC number 1 again. This is how your normal communication will happen between the PC1 to the PC2. I'm again repeating, it was just a tiny piece of information. It was very detailed in the switching, but this is the part of the switching. I just explain you to just give the overview. If you don't know, wait for some time. But this part is very, very important, because if you go for the any interview round, right? Any interview round, they will ask you this kind of questions. And they will just say that, hey, explain this thing of the 30 minutes or 20 minutes. They will just say you explain this thing for the 20 minutes and 30 minutes. If you go for the, like, one of the student, right? He went in the, I remember in the 2018. Clear? Any questions till this point? No? So guys, in LAN communication, we don't have an issue with the own subnet, right? This is the subnet that I have used over there, 1.0.0/8. No issue. This guy is going to have a subnet 2.0.0/8. But what happened if I'm going to ping, if I'm going to ping 2.2.1 from this PC to this guy? Can I ping? Huh? Why? Default gateway? Okay, let's set the default gateway. What is default gateway? I'm going to say. Guys, first of all, if you now provide the communication between the two different broadcast domain, one broadcast domain, right? Broadcast domain is a logical domain, right? Logical domain, two different broadcast domain. If you now send the packet from one broadcast domain to the another broadcast domain, you must need to have a layer 3 device. It could be layer 3 switch or router as well as. Clear? Great. So I'm introducing the router over there, router 1. right? And router number 2, like this and like this. It's fine now. So this interface we have a 0/0, and I can give this guy as IP address 100, right? This interface we have a 0/0, and I can give the IP address will be 200, right? So this interface, this IP will become the default gateway for this PC, right? Every interface of the router. So every interface of the router represent a separate broadcast domain and collision domain. And if you don't know this thing, guys, what is broadcast domain, collision domain, my suggestion, go through the CCN again. Because if I'm going to explain this part right now, it will take the 1 hour. बताया क्यों मुस्कुरा रहा है और बता दे gateway of the last resource comes in the routing. The whenever you're doing the routing, I'll explain you the gateway of the last resource when I'm come for the routing part of it. But default gateway, yeah, is that you're going to define on the client side, on the PC side. Almost they are same, almost, but we can't say that actually, right? Because the default gateway are going to use the PC side, and the gateway last resource is having on the router side. But almost they are same. Now, router one and router number 3. Which technology we are learning right now? Wired or wireless? Wired. Good. Chalo. Let's provide the connectivity. What I can take, I will just take a one cable and put that from Delhi to the Bangalore. Yeah. And this cable has a capacity of about 20 Mbps. Clear? So if I'm going to put the cable from Delhi to Bangalore location, what happened? What we have to do? We need to purchase the land. It's not like that, okay, you can put the cable anywhere, right? You have to purchase the land, and then you need to put the cable over there, and then you need to provide the connectivity from this router to this router. And now we can send the traffic. This is the wired media concept, right? We need to send the packet through the wire, like this, like this, like this, like this, and return traffic, right? Tell me one thing. Right now, for this 50 users, I put the 20 Mbps link, right? What happens if the user will increase? Again, I need to put the another cable between this guy to this guy. So now the cable speed will be what? 50 Mbps. After some time, now the user has increased the 500, 1 gig. So can you see what happened? Depend on the requirement, we need to change their speed. So again, what happened? Remove the cable, put the cable, remove the cable, put the cable, remove the cable, put the cable. Cost comes in the picture, and it is very hard to troubleshoot. Take example from the Chennai location, this link goes down. It could be right. Anything can happen. This is just a physical wire, right? Then are you able to judge where this link has down, right, and where the cut is happening? You can't do that, right? And again, what happened? We have a limited speed, right? You're getting this point, what I'm trying to say. You have a limited speed. You have to change the speed according to your requirement. You have to change your speed according to your requirement. My requirement is 10 Mbps, okay, change it. 20 Mbps, change it. 20, 50 Mbps, change it. When the user is growing, you have to change the speed. Clear? And again, what happened? Cost P-suit. So to avoid all this problem, one guy comes in the picture and he said, hey, you don't need to pay the lots of money. You tell me what's the requirement. Your requirement is 20 Mbps, I'll give you the 20 Mbps. Your requirement is 50 Mbps, I'll give you the 50 Mbps. Your requirement is 100 Mbps, I'll give you the 100 Mbps. You just need to pay the just a small amount of money. That's it. Depend on the requirement, I will give you the services. And that guy is known as a internet service provider. Depend on the services, they will give you the services. Just pay the money, I'll give you whatever you want. You want a 20 Mbps, take it. 30, take it. 50, take it. So instead of making the own road, we have a public road, right? On a public, we can go through the we can make a own private road from Bangalore to the Delhi, or either we can follow the public road, right? That is made by the government, right? Same thing. This is the public network, and that's very cheap as compared to having a private road. Because for the private road, what happened? We need to purchase the land, make the road, and drive the car. But this is the public connection. It's very cheap. Instead of paying if I'm going to take a private connection, I will pay the 1000. In the public connection, how much pay? 10 rupees. See the difference. That's how the ISP comes in the picture, guys. And ISP is a collection of a router. It's a collection of routers. So now what happened on this particular interface? 0/1, right? This particular interface 0/0, this particular interface 0/1, and this particular interface 0/0. 0/1. This guy has an IP address. Take example, I'm going to assign this person is 12.1. This guy is going to have a 12.2. And this guy has a network will be /24. This guy has a 23.2. This guy has a 23.3. And this guy will be subnet will be 23.0/24. This is the R2. Done. Now, guys, do you know one thing? Right now, do we have any IP addresses on an interface right now? No IP addresses, right? Do you know on the router side, by default, on this router, by default, this command is enabled. Which command? What is the use of this one? The to build routing table. बोल इतना गलत कैसे हो सकता है? Anything else? To enable layer 3. Okay. To define the routing part. ये बहुत गलत था. To define the route. भाई static dot तो पढ़ाया नहीं अभी तक. Hey guys, by default this command is enable IP routing, and what this command is going to do, this command it helps to build the routing table. It enables the layer 3 mechanism. At the same time, this guy unicast behavior on the router, not the multicast. Only unicast. And based on this command, right, router build routing table. I'm making it, this command is hidden. You can't see in the running config. If you have a look over there, if you see any of the router do show run, are you able to see any IP routing command over there? No. So this command is hidden, right? And what this command is going to do, it build the routing table. It only going to enable the unicast behavior. So if you see, I said no IP routing, right? Now this router is behave like what? If I put the command no IP routing, this router is behave like a host. Clear? And once I say the IP routing command, this router is behave like a router. Clear? So if you have a look, I just say that no IP routing. Can I enable first of all router ARP protocol? No. So everything is disabled, right? Can we have a routing table? No. He's asking a default gateway. Can I put the IP address? Do show IP route. I don't have the routing table. I define the IP address, no routing table, because IP routing command is disabled right now, right? Let's do one thing. IP routing enable. What this command is going to do? First of all, you can enable the layer 3. EHRP is working fine now. Do show IP route. I have a routing table. Do show IP multicast. Multicast is not going to enable. It's still disabled, right? So IP routing is only going to enable the what? Unicast. Good. Now, if I'm going to give the command interface 0/0 IP address will be 101.1 and put the no shutdown, what happened? Your routing table, right, is up. RT means what? Routing table is up for which interface? I'm adding which route? 1.0.0.0, right? How they will determine the /8 value based on the subnet mask, right? And the via it's connected to the 0.0.0. This 0.0.0 is going to represent that it's a directly connected route. Right? And for the directly connected route, we have AD values will be 0 and matrix will be 0. If you don't know the AD and matrix, just wait for some time. And I'm going to add this interface 0/0 also in the routing table. So if you have an IP routing command enable, we will have this information, right? Clear? This is how actually a router build a routing table in the background after putting the IP addresses. ऐसा नहीं होता कि अपने आप खुद आ जाएगा. Nothing. Once you enable this command, everything is depend on the command line. Put the command IP routing table is enabled. And they'll maintain all this information in the routing table. Clear? What happened if you see right now we have this information now. And why I'm adding this interface in the routing table? So that if any packet come for this network, I need to forward the packet to the this particular interface. each interface is behave like a gate. You know the gate. Delhi gaya, Delhi पर Rajiv Chowk. Multiple gates are there. नहीं गया छोड़ो. Metro station. Well, किससे हो गया था? अकेले गया था? क्यों? कोचिंग करने के लिए? यूपीएससी? एनडीए? एक और डांसर था. कहाँ गया वो डांसर? दो हो गए एक्टर अपने क्लासरूम में. दोनों से करवाएंगे नाटक. Now, adding the interface in the routing table is very simple because if any packet comes for this network, right, I have to forward the packet through this interface. So if you see do show IP route, I have this information in my routing table. What happens if I want to shut down? Delete this route from the routing table. Done. So now do show IP. Do we have this information? Nope. Let's put the no shutdown. What happened? I'm going to add this route again in the routing table. What happened inside the no IP routing? Remove this route from the routing table. Yeah. Right? So guys, this command is only going to deal with the because IP keyword is going to represent that IPv4, not the. If you want to enable the IPv6 unicast routing, you need to put this keyword. IPv6 routing or unicast? Some keyword is it. For the IPv6. But this is guy, it's code totally going to represent that IPv4. This IP keyword is whenever I'm going to use the IP, whenever, in any way, when I'm using this keyword IP, it means that I'm talking about the. Clear हो गया? बहुत अच्छी. So guys, anyone has a question till this point? What is the meaning of IP routing command? No. Now, to assign the IP to this particular interface, what happened? We need to go in this box, right? Actually, what happened? We have this box right now, the global configuration mode, right? Config terminal, and we have a interface mode. So if you don't do any kind of global configuration like enable the routing protocols, you have to do in this mode, right? But if you don't define the IP addresses, you have to go in the particular interface mode. So how many interface mode they have router right now? 2, 0/0 and 0/1. So if the network engineer wants to define the 0/0 IP address, they have to go this box. And if they want to define the IP address for this particular interface, they have to go for the this box. Clear? So what happened? On this particular interface, if you see, let's do one thing, stop this guy. Static out. Done. Same topology like your paint file. Nothing is difference. 12.1, 12.0/24, 12.2, 23.2, 23.3, 23.0/24, right? And 2.0, 2.100 this interface, 2.0/24, 2.1, 1.100 this interface, 1.0/24, sorry, 1.0/24 this network, and 1.1. How many broadcast domain over there in this topology? बता पड़ती हो कितने हैं? 4 है कि 2 है? हाँ? 2? How many broadcast domain? तू बता. तो एनडीए कितने और माइकल जैक्सन हाउ मेनी ब्रॉडकास्ट डोमेन ऐसे क्या होता है ऐसे मुंह खोल 4 2 3 कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है तुम लोगों का सारे के सारे रिजेक्ट हो जाओगे इंटरव्यू 6 6 कैसे हो गए भाई देखो अब तो मैं नहीं पढ़ा रहा कि ब्रॉडकास्ट क्या होता है मैं सही बता रहा हूँ ये नहीं पढ़ा रहा मैं कि व्हाट इज कॉलेज डोमेन व्हाट इज ब्रॉडकास्ट डोमेन क्योंकि पता है द रीजन इज वेरी सिंपल यू गाइस डन योर सीसीएनए बट कभी किसी ने सीसीएनए का बुक खोल के देखा है कैसा दिखता है बड़ा सेक्सी दिखता है ये बुक है ना 450 500 पेज का बहुत प्यारा दिखता है कभी खोल के क्या सुगंध आती है ना तो खुशबू जो होती है ना मस्त है इसकी हाँ कंप्यूटर से नहीं आती है अबे हार्ड कॉपी ले ले 500 रुपए के पड़ते हैं 500 एंड यू कैन लर्न द सीसीएनए वेरी डिटेल अब ये बोलोगे ट्रेनर ने नहीं पढ़ाया वो इसने नहीं किया उसने नहीं किया भाई करना खुद को होता है फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पहला बात दिस इज राइट यू नो दिस इज पहला बात तो नो कॉन्फिडेंस जीरो लेवल सो बुक पढ़ो max to max it will take a max to max if you are very slow 1 month अगर तुम बहुत ही ज्यादा स्लो max to max it will take 1 month total lamb once you have done the total lamb go for the another season book at least finish 2 and 3 season books minimum 2 and 3 season books don't watch the video for the season right now you already done your training watching the video reading the books both are a different things सेम मत बोलना मुझे आगे बुक्स पढ़ो भाई बहुत हेल्प करेगा मैं तो फिर इंटरव्यू में छटोगे फिर आओगे अरे नहीं है तो कुछ पैसे नहीं है मार्केट में क्लियर सो तीन कितने ब्रॉडकास्ट 12 और 0 23 और 0 1.0 एंड 2.0 देयर इज अ फोर ब्रॉडकास्ट इन मैन क्लियर now see the topology I just give the IP address on every interface you know the command how to give the IP addresses right so on this particular interface 0/0 on the router number 1 this interface 0/0 interface 0/0 IP address will be 12.1 no shutdown right interface 0/1 done on R2 actually everything is I think so pre-configured right I'm just trying to show you the okay interface 0/0 12.2 no shutdown interface 0/1 no shutdown right done R3 this guy right interface 0/0 interface 0/1 no shutdown right the client side this is the Delhi client sorry India client this guy R4 so IP interface brief they have IP address show IP route they have a default gateway how to set the default gateway I just need to put the command IP default gateway right 100 then the IP routing is disabled if you see router ARP IP routing is not in because I made this router as a PC right same thing on a R5 Do show IP interface brief. I have IP configuration. Do show IP route. I have a default gateway. IP routing is disabled on this guy, right? Guys, do you have any question in the IP configuration? You can ask me. Anyone has any questions? Sarmawat, you can ask me. And if you have any question. No? Clear? Everyone is clear? Good. Now, if I'm going to ping from here to this guy, what is the source IP? Destination IP. When this packet is coming to the router 1, what router 1 is going to do? It always perform the destination lookup. And that's why it's known as a destination based routing. We have a source based routing as well as that is done by the PBR, policy based routing. We'll see that this thing in the advanced lecture. But by default, your router is doing the destination lookup. That's why it's known as a destination based routing. Every router. So when this packet is coming to the R1, what R1 is going to do in this case? R1 is going to perform the destination lookup. Hey, do we have this information in my routing table on R1? So if you see, does R1 has, okay, 1 minute. Actually, everything is pre-configured. All done. And actually, yesterday I took the, not yesterday, before yesterday, I took the, they don't have profit. Perhaps that's why I saved this configuration. Good. So the R1, does they have information 2.0, right? Right now. This packet information, right? No. What happened? What R1 will do? Drop the packet. What R1 will do? They will just drop the packet because they don't have information on the 2.1, right? I put the destination lookup. I don't have it out. They will just drop the packet. Clear? So what happened? It is something like that. It is something like that. Rohit has a, Nidhi has a number of 123, the phone number. This guy has a number of 456, and this girl has a number of, this guy has a number of 789, right? So they have a phone, and in this phone, what happened? They have a number of Nidhi is associated with the 123, and Kishan associated with the 789. Not Nidhi. This guy has a number of every person, like Rohit associated with the 456, and Nidhi associated with the 123. And this girl has a number of Rohit, and this girl has a number of Kishan. Tell me, can this person make a call to the Nidhi? Rohit can make a call to the Nidhi. Why? They don't have information, right? So what happened? They will ask to the kitchen, hey, do you have a number of Nidhi? He said, yes, I have. And they will give the number of Nidhi. Hey, take it. Nidhi associated with the 1, 2, 3. Right? They will install this number in the phone book and they will now make a call. So if you don't have information, what happened? Drop. Same thing is router is doing. Router maintains the what? Routing table. And routing table is like a phone book, right? Routing table is like a phone book. If you have information, send the traffic. No, drop it. Clear? So what happened if the Rohit does not have a number of Nidhi? So they will ask to the Kishan, hey, do you have a number? Kishan will say the number to the Rohit, right? This exchanging is done, right? So exchanging the information in the networking is known as a routing. So we can exchange the number in the two ways, or we can say exchange the number or exchange the route in the two ways. Your routing is categorized in the two ways. One, we have a dynamic routing. One, we have a static routing. Right? In the dynamic routing, we have a protocol like we have a REP, IGRP, we have a EIGRP, we have a OSPF, we have a ISSIS protocol, we have a BGP. These are the protocols that comes in the dynamic. Static is what? Manually, I have to define. Every single thing you have to define manually. Dynamic is what? Every protocol is there. So right now, they don't have information, right? Does R1 has the information of this network? No. Does R1 has this information? No. So what happened? I need to bring this information in the R1 routing table and I need to bring this information in the R1 routing table. Same thing. What information R2 will have? This guy and this guy. So R2 does not have any idea about this network. So they will bring this information, and R2 does not have an idea of this network. So they will bring this information. Same thing. R3 does not know about this guy, and R3 does not know about this guy. So they will bring this information in the R3 routing table, and they will bring this information in the R3 routing table. So fetching the route, right? Fetching the route is known as the routing. Getting the destination information in my routing table is known as a routing. And you can do in the two ways, static or dynamic. Clear? Any questions? So what happened to do the static routing? The command is IP route. What is the meaning of IP over there? IPv4, right? Not the IPv6. So it means that I'm doing this static route only for the IPv4 destination network, submit mask information, and next hop. Where do you want to go? I want to go this network. What is the submit mask of this guy? And what is the neighbor information? Next hop always going to represent that it's a neighbor information. Depend on the flow, right? Your next hop will be changed. Not depend on the flow, depend on the direction. So take example. Right now on a R1, if I want to go this network, what is the next hop? And if R1 wants to go to this network, what is the next hop? Still same neighbor, right? If R2 wants to go to this network, what is the next hop? And if R2 wants to go to this network, what is the next hop? Yeah, well, right? Same thing on a R3. If I want to go this network, what is the next hop? And if I want to go this guy, what is the next hop? Same, right? Done. This is starting out. So you go on R1 and say that IP route, what I want to go to this network, right? Let's do one thing. Do debug IP routing. I want to go this network, right? 2 right? See, I'm adding this route in my routing table. Clear? If I want to go this network, done. Adding this routing my routing table. Do show IP route. See, same thing on R2. I do have this information, right? Which information all my directly connected. That is 12.0 and 23.0, right? On a R2 routing table. I don't have 1.0, right? I don't have this information in my routing table, and I don't have this information in my routing table. I need to define this path, right? IP route and IP route. Then do show IP route static, right? On R3, I do just have this information 23.0 and 2.0. That is my directly connect 23.0 and 2.0. I don't have, sorry, and I don't have do show IP route 12.0. On R3, I have defined the 12.0, and on R3, I have defined the that, right? So now if you go to the R4, and can I ping this guy 2.1 from there to here to here? Of course I can ping now because this guy know the 23.0 subnet and this guy know the 2.0 subnet. This guy know the 1.0 subnet and this guy know the 2.0 subnet. And this guy know the 12.0 subnet and this guy know the. So they already have a 12.0 and they already have a 1.0, right? So this is the static, this is the static, this is connected and connected. This is the static, this is the static, and connected will be what? 12.0 and connected will be what? Same thing, connected, static, static, connected is what? And connected is what? Now can I ping from here to here? Of course I can ping because we have now the source IP will be 101, destination IP 2.1. When this packet is coming to the R1, what R1 will say that? Hey, do we have 2.1? Yes, according to my routing table. According to my routing table, I need to forward the packet to whom? 12 or 2, right? And he'll forward the packet to whom? 12 or 2. When the packet come to the R2, what R2 will say? Hey, do we have a 2.0 information? Yes, according to my routing table, I need to forward the packet to whom? 23.3. And when R3 will receive this packet, what R3 said, hey, do we have this information 2.0? Yes, according to my routing table, I need to forward the packet to the 0/1 interface through this guy. It's working. And now have a look. All done. We have rich utility. Hey guys, till this point, what we have done, I just gave you the overview of the routing part. From the today lecture, you only understand what is router and what is routing and how does router maintain routing table and what is the use of this. From today lecture, you will only understand this part. What is router, what is routing, how does router maintain the routing table, and what is IP routing command. That's it, nothing else. Because the static routing that we have seen is just an overview, just very tiny piece of information, right? Not detail. We'll discuss this guy tomorrow on the class, right? The detail how actually in the background is working, right? Okay, what is the use of next stop? We have multiple ways to define the static route. So from the today lecture, you will only get the idea of this part. I just gave you the static route like in the commands to just give you the overview, right? So that you can easily understand from the tomorrow onwards. If you have any questions from the today class, you can ask me. I'm done for the today. Yeah. हाँ. क्लाइंट पे नहीं, क्लाइंट पे डिसेबल किया था. अबे डिफॉल्ट पीसी पे डिफॉल्ट नहीं देता है तो नहीं डिसेबल कर रखा मैंने ना ना. हाँ, क्या बात कर रहा तू? आशीष, अविनाश, बालाकृष्ण, गुरु, हरि कृष्ण, जयेश, पीनेट, जगन्नाथ रेड्डी, किशोर मोहन, नवीन, नीलेश, प्रतीक गौर, प्रवीण रामाकृष्ण. Uh, the lots of name is there, right? Do you have any question? Vinay and Srikant, Sumit, do you have any questions, guys? Okay, yeah, of course I can share with you. I'll just save this drive. Okay, come on. Okay, and I'll save this. I'll just put the day one routing day one, right? That will be good, right? So according to that, you can identify this diagram. Perfect. So guys, hope you guys are like what we call. You are there in the WhatsApp group. If you are not there, who are the new in this classroom, just ping me on this number. I will add you in this group, right? And today you will get our traveling. Okay, today you will get the traveling and the today class. Okay. Guys, what we have to do the today, you just need to draw this topology. Listen to me. You just need to draw this topology and configure all the IP addresses. That's it, nothing else. I'm not telling you to configure the routing protocol, nothing. Just configure the IP address, that's it. इतना configure करो, मजा आ जाएगा मुझे. मैंने देख रखा है, IP भी नहीं आता configure करने. तो इतना